Hello everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Vlogmas week 4. I can't believe that we are already here for the 4th vlog of the month. That is just crazy. And you might recall from last week's video that I got a smart bulb for this lamp back here. So for today's clip, I decided to go with red because it is, of course, Christmassy and it matches the mood of the book that I finished today. So this week is gonna be so much more chill than last week, which we love to see. Last week was, I don't know, just a little much for me. I much prefer things to be low key. And so yeah, and of course it's the week of Christmas and I'm just excited about all the books that I'm gonna read this week. So why don't we just go ahead and get to the reading update. So the book that I finished today was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. Now you see what I mean when I say that the red matches the mood of this cover. So I basically read like the first half of this yesterday and then I finished out the rest of it today while I was doing stuff around the house. And I think I'm settling on giving this 3.5 stars. It's overall a pretty solid YA mystery thriller. It has vibes of like The Breakfast Club, Gossip Girl, maybe even I Know What You Did Last Summer, kind of things like that. We also get 4 different POVs that we're following. And yeah, it was just solid. Like, did this bring anything all that new or innovative to the YA mystery thriller genre? No, but I still enjoyed it for the most part. And I will say, actually, I was pretty impressed with the plot twist at the end. I thought that was pretty good. And even though this is the first book in a series, because I know One of Us Is Next came out in 2020 and then One of Us Is Back, I believe that's the title of the 3rd book, that's coming out in like 2023 or something, so we have to wait a while. But even though this is book 1 in a series, this book does completely wrap up everything, all the loose ends. So I don't know that I'll necessarily continue on with the series because, like, as you can tell, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. So, like, why continue on? I don't know. I'll look up reviews for One of Us Is Next, and if people are just raving about it, then, like, maybe I'll check it out, but not anytime soon. So I just finished that, like, 15 minutes ago or something like that. And then I'm gonna go into A Moment in Time by Bertrand Small. This is actually the December pick for the Historical Hellions book club, which is run by Jess from Peace Love Books and Samantha from Books with Samantha. I'm actually going to be a guest host for the live show that is happening on January 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will definitely link all that information down in the description if you are interested. But yeah, this is their pick for December. And I have the audiobook for this and it's like a 19-hour audiobook. So I think what I'm gonna do is just read a small chunk of this book per day, maybe like 15 to 20%, and then I'll read something else for the rest of the days while I'm reading this. From what I understand, I think this book has something to do with past lives and like reincarnation. I read the synopsis a really long time ago, and for some reason, that's what I'm remembering, and watch me be like completely wrong, I don't know. But I'm really interested in checking this out. I'd never heard about this author until Jess and Samantha picked out this book for December. So yeah, I'm just really interested to see what's going on. I'm still very much in a YA mood. And so I have some books off of like my Libby app and off of Hoopla that I also want to get to this week. And I still want to read a couple of Christmas romances. So I'll definitely just kind of get to the books as I read them this week. And yeah, I don't have much else to say. Oh, I got this really lovely Christmas card from one of my bookish friends, Ava, from Ava Reads Romance. I will definitely link her down in the description below. I love her channel. She's like the queen of reading all of Ruby Dixon's books. I think that was how I first found her channel, if I'm not mistaken. But I also highly recommend her channel if you are looking for romance novels with chronic illness or disability representation, because she has like 2 or 3 videos with all of those recommendations, and yeah, they're just fantastic videos. But yeah, she sent me this card, and the front cover actually has a quote from It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. We recently bonded over how much this book wrecked us. And this quote in particular, it stops here with me and you, it ends with us. If you've read the book, it will wreck your soul. You will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm like tearing up thinking about it. So thank you so much, Ava, for the card, for the beautiful print, and for the sweet message inside. I don't think I have anything else to add, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow. It's Wednesday, my dudes. All right, Chloe, say hi to the camera. Oh my goodness, she's just so excited because we're at the park and we're gonna go walk soon. Chloe, you were just so focused, huh? Say hi to the camera. Say hi to everybody. This lighting is crazy because the sun is like behind me. But we are waiting here at the park for Nana to get here, for my mom to get here. And I picked us up some Chipotle. So we're gonna eat that when she gets here. And look at that little face. Look at that sweet, sweet widow face. I'll definitely give you like a full reading update when I get back home, but I just didn't feel the need to update yesterday because I've just been kind of working my way through 2 pretty chunky books. So I didn't finish anything yesterday, but yeah, I definitely have some things to discuss with you all later, but we just need to focus for now on this cute little baby girl that she doesn't want to look at the camera. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Wednesday, my dudes. It is just about 5:30 p.m. We had a pretty good time at the park, and now it is time to do my actual reading update. So yeah, I've just been working my way through 2 pretty chunky books. The first one is A Moment in Time by Bertrand Small. I mentioned this in my last update. This is the December pick for the Historical Hellions book club, and I was right. This is about past lives. I was not mistaken. And my goodness, how do I even begin to explain this book? Because so much has happened. I'm about 42% of the way through. My goal has been to read about 20% per day, and that's what I've been doing so far. I read 20% Monday, a little over 20% yesterday, and then today, I don't know if I'm gonna get much of this done. I'm hoping to at least maybe get 10% done because I really want to finish the other book that I'm in the middle of. So we have our heroine Wynne and we have our hero Matic. The first part, or I guess like the main part of this story, takes place in the year 1060 in Wales. First of all, something I keep forgetting every time I pick up this book is that in that timeline, Wynne is 15 years old, and Matic, I'm pretty sure, is way older than that. So we're already starting off on the wrong foot, and we're also already starting off on the wrong foot because at the very beginning, we are introduced to the fact that Wynne's family has slaves. Yikes. Oh my goodness. Like, I can understand that that would be historically accurate, but like, can we not? Can we not have slaves in a historical romance? Thank you. Thank you. Or at least if we're gonna have slaves, like, can we not play it off as if it's okay to have slaves? That's my problem. Yikes. So yeah, basically Wynne and Matic have been betrothed to each other Wynne's entire life. She didn't know that until Matic just like showed up to their door and was like, hey girl, like we gotta get married soon. And she's like, what? I don't think they've gotten married yet where I left off, but they get together, they start falling for each other. So basically Wynne is having these visions, she's having these dreams of like snippets of her past lives. And then Matic tells her, like, yeah, we've lived several lives together. Like, we are essentially soulmates. Oh my God, this clip is going to have to be heavily edited because I do not know how to explain this book. But Matic is essentially like a wizard, magical dude, and he remembers everything about their past lives together, him and Wynne. and Win knows nothing. And so Matic is like, I could teach you, but I have to charge my milkshake, brings all the boys to the yard. Okay, I'm done, sorry. Yeah, he's like, I can teach you how to develop your own magical abilities and how to remember your past lives, basically. So where I left off, she's basically in like a past life regression session. So that's what's starting to get confusing, is that we're kind of dealing with two different timelines. We've got the present day 1060 Wales. They are preparing to marry each other. And then we've got this past life that they lived together where she was a fae. I think her name was Rhiannon and his name was like Powell or something. And so we're dealing with the drama of like her being a fae and him being a human, and then they got married and his people didn't approve of him marrying a fae. So yeah, like things are getting confusing, but I think I understand what's going on at the same time. I love the idea of a couple going through several lives together. I love the idea of reincarnation and all of that. And I definitely would be enjoying this book more if I really enjoyed the characters. Like Win and Matic are just fine. Like all of the characters are just fine in this. And so I just like don't really care all that much about their past lives and them being these soulmates and this epic love story. The other book that I'm in the middle of is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. So this is the very last book that I have to read from the books that were featured in my 5-star predictions video. I'll link that up in the cards above in case you are interested. Yeah, I read the other 9 books that were featured in that video. So this is the very last book that I have to read for it. And I wanted to get this read ASAP because I want to film like my 5-star reaction video or like my did I really love these books video this week. I want to film it tomorrow actually. So yeah, this book definitely needed to get read, but at the same time, this is definitely not a Christmassy book. This is like an erotic horror novel. So I was gonna save it for January, but yeah, because of the video that I want to make, I'm gonna read it now. So this is a pretty chunky book, and so is A Moment in Time. A Moment in Time is just about 500 pages, which is very long for a historical romance. This book, I think, is also like well over 450 pages if I'm not mistaken, but not quite 500 pages, but like that's long for a romance novel. But yeah, this is definitely an erotic horror novel. And what I will say is that the first 30% of this book, it's a slow start. I think you do have to go in with a little bit of patience. But I already know that I really enjoy Harley LaRue's writing because I read The Dare by her and absolutely adored it and gave it 5 stars. I don't think that this is gonna necessarily be a 5-star. It just has a very different feel, a very different vibe. And I can tell you right now, I'm like 63% of the way through, and I do think that it's just a little too long. I think she could have edited it down a little bit. But this is also a complicated plot. What is going on with these books? Okay, so we have Ray, our heroine. She starts going to college in this small town. It's a kind of creepy gothic type setting. And then we have Leon. He is a demon. Now he is a demon that wears a human disguise. Basically, there's this creepy ass family, the Hadleys, and they have been making sacrifices to this god that lives underground, essentially. And so like the patriarch of that family has this grimoire, and through that grimoire, he can essentially control Leon. And so then towards the beginning, we see that the Hadleys have lost this grimoire. So Leon is essentially free, and Ray finds herself in possession of the grimoire somehow. And so she ends up accidentally summoning Leon through coming across this grimoire. And so things go on from there. Things get very, very steamy from there. This is definitely like the definition of an erotic horror novel. And what I will say is that while, like I said, this does have a slow start, I really like how she's writing the buildup of suspense and of the horror elements themselves. It's a very seamless buildup, because right where I left off, things are starting to like actually get pretty darn scary. And yeah, I just think the way that she's developed that throughout the book is really well done. I'm enjoying this romance situation between Leon and Ray. Things are definitely very messy. Definitely know there's plenty of content warnings in here in terms of the kind of sex that Leon and Ray have. I'll just kind of leave it at that. I'll let you look it up yourselves, but this definitely is a romance with a darker feel to it. There's some interesting kinks involved and things like that. So I am enjoying it so far. I'm gonna try to finish it at some point tonight. We'll see if that's possible. I also have like a little fun movie date planned with a friend of mine. We're going to group watch The Muppets Christmas Carol, which has become like a yearly tradition for us, which is fun. So yeah, we'll see how much reading I can get done tonight, but as you guys know, I also stay up really, really late. So it might happen. We will just have to see. Hey everyone, happy Thursday. Yes, today's Thursday. I had a pretty chill day today for the most part. I really had just been reading, and then I went on a walk with my mom and Chloe again at the park. Last night was fun because I got to watch The Muppet Christmas Carol with my good friend Melanie. We have made this like an annual tradition, and fight me all you want, but that is the best adaptation of A Christmas Carol. The Muppet Christmas Carol is iconic. It is it. It's incredible. So I love that it's become like an annual tradition for us. And then last night, really late last night, I think, I did finish Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. I am giving this 3.5 stars. I overall did enjoy it. However, why the hell is this book 500 pages or nearly 500 pages? Like, there is no need for this book to be that long. This book also has a slow start, like I think I mentioned in a previous update, which is fine. But as much as I was really, really enjoying Leon and Ray's romance, towards the end, the sacrifice plot, kind of the B plot, was taking over, and I was just like, can we be done? Can this book be done? Like, can we get to their happily ever after and just be done with it? Yeah, definitely by the last 20%, I really started zoning out. Now, this book does not have an audiobook for it, but you can have Alexa read Kindle books to you. The fastest that she can read is 2 times speed, so that's the speed that I was listening to this. Yeah, I was definitely zoning out. So it was good, not great. 3.5 stars. Then today I did read a good bit more of A Moment in Time by Bertrand Small. I think I'm roughly like 65 to 70% of the way through. I'm not really sure because I was listening to a good chunk of the audiobook while getting ready to film. And I don't want to say too much about this book because I'm going to be a part of that live show on January 2nd. Like I said, that information is linked down below. I have 2 main things to say about this book though. One, Bertrand Small definitely made some choices when writing this book. And 2, pardon my French, but what the actual fuck is this book? I don't know. So I think I'm gonna leave my thoughts there for this vlog. And we will definitely be discussing this book a ton for that live show. And then I'll probably talk a little bit more about it in my end of December wrap up, but yeah. So in terms of what I'm gonna read next, yeah, I am getting ready to film my like 5-star predictions reaction video. Like, did I actually love the books that I said I was going to love? So that should be a pretty quick video to film because I have 10 books to talk about, and I'm just gonna give like quick bullet points about all 10 of them. Her Soul to Take is actually one of the books that's gonna be featured in that video. And then after that, oh my God, y'all, today, Melt for Us by Molly Doyle was released on Kindle Unlimited. So this is the follow-up to Scream for Us, which was a Halloween themed novella. And I adored that novella so much. It's essentially a reverse harem with horror movie vibes. There's like murder and violence going on for sure. This book, that novella gets very dark. And so Melt for Us is a follow-up with these same characters, but it's going to be around Christmas time. And then what's also exciting is that Molly Doyle is currently working on a full-length novel about these same characters. And from what I understand, that novel is going to be taking place between Scream for Us and Melt for Us, but you can definitely still read Melt for Us before reading that book because it hasn't been released yet. So I am so excited for this novella. I am just dropping my TBR and I just have to read this today. I am so excited. I have a feeling it's gonna be amazing. Also, as you can see, I'm decked out for Christmas. I've got some Jingle Bell earrings on, the whole 9 yards, because this is my last video that I am filming before Christmas. So I didn't really come out with much Christmas content this year, I feel like, with the exception of my Vlogmas vlogs. Like, that's just kind of a different thing. But I didn't really release like Christmas book recommendations or anything like that. I think I'll do more of that for next Christmas, but it is what it is. So because this is the last video that I'm filming before Christmas, I did want to get dressed up. I've got my red sweater on. Plus I've got these beautiful green glittery nails. Like, I am just ready to go. 'Tis the season, am I right? So yeah, I'm gonna go film this video and then jump into Melt for Us. I am so excited. Time to set the mood, 'cause it's Christmas time. Hey everybody. So, Merry Christmas Eve, Merry Chrysler Eve, Merry Crisis Eve, you know, whatever, however you want to refer to it. So first things first, I have some book mail to show you guys. Basically, I bought quite a few books a few days ago for part retail therapy, part birthday and Christmas presents to myself. Self-love, self-care is important. Okay, so the first book that I have here is A Princess for Christmas by Jenny Holiday. I love this book so freaking much. I read it a few weeks ago and I needed a physical copy because I loved it so much. And what's funny about getting this book is that I'm currently reading Duke, actually, which is the follow-up to A Princess for Christmas. So I'll get to those in a second, but let's show you the rest of these books. So next up, I got Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. I love this cover. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I found out that this recently won the National Book Award winner for young adult literature for 2021, which is so exciting. And I've also just seen a lot of people reading this book this year and raving about it. This is a historical fiction. I believe it takes place in the 1950s during the Red Scare. And I believe this centers around Asian main characters as well as LGBTQ plus characters. I don't really know anything more about it other than that, but I've just seen so many people raving about this book, and like I said, the cover is stunning. And I've been meaning to get back into YA historical fiction. For some reason, I enjoy YA historical fiction more than adult historical fiction, at least most of the time. Like, there's definitely some adult historical fiction books that I truly love, but for the most part, I tend to gravitate towards YA. So yeah, I'm just really excited about that. Next, we have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I am obsessed with this cover. Oh my God, so beautiful, the colors. This was also part of Reese's book club. I've heard that this is more of an adult fiction novel, but there is a really strong romance and there is a happily ever after at the end, which we love to see. I really don't know anything more about it than that, but I've heard a lot of people rave about this one recently, so I'm excited about this one as well. And then the final book that I have to show you guys is Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. This is the third book in the Skyward series. You guys know how much I loved that first book, so I had to immediately order physical copies of the other two books. I did order a hardcover of Starsight, which is book 2. That's coming in maybe next week. This is book 3, and then there is also a bind up of the 3 novellas that I think that's being released in like May or June of next year. So I added that to my Amazon wish list because I loved the cover of that as well. But I'm so excited to have those books in my personal library as well. I finally watched White Christmas for the very first time yesterday. I know. How have I not watched that movie in the 29 years that I have been on this earth? I can't tell you. I don't know. I really don't. And I had no clue how incredible that movie is. Like, oh my God, the dance numbers? Like, are you kidding me? So freaking incredible. And of course it's like Irving Berlin music. It's great. It's a classic for a reason. So I watched that. And then tonight I want to watch another Christmas movie as well, but I'm not sure yet which one I want to go with. And then, yeah, let's jump into this reading update. So last night I did read Melt for Us by Molly Doyle. You guys saw how excited I was about this novella, and I gave it 3 stars. Ugh! I have been having such a meh reading week, and it makes me so sad. Although I will say, with the book that I'm currently reading, things are definitely looking up. But I think everything I've been reading this week, I've given like 3 or 3.5 stars. I hate that. I hate that for me. Yeah, basically, like I explained in my update yesterday, this is essentially a sequel novella, or like an extended epilogue novella to a story that I haven't read yet, because Molly Doyle has not released the full-length novel about these same characters. And so unfortunately I really did feel like I was missing part of the story, but it's a part of the story that I don't have access to. So that was annoying. And then the first half of this was really good because we had like the snowed in cabin Christmas vibes. The smut is great, of course. But then at around like the 50% mark, this novella starts to focus on this side plot about this man that sexually assaulted Quinn, our main character, some years back, and I didn't care about that plot, to be honest. So like, I feel like it was just kind of shoehorned in there to give the guys an excuse to murder somebody, because that's what happened in Scream for Us. There was a lot of murder in Scream for Us. So I feel like, yeah, she just like shoehorned this storyline in so that the guys could murder somebody for this novella too. I don't know. Clearly this is a very dark story. Like, definitely look up the content warnings. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And so then after that, I jumped into Dipped in Holly. So this is by the same author that wrote Games We Play, which is a novella about this gamer guy and the reporter that's interviewing him. And I really enjoyed that novella. I gave that one 4 stars. This one, I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but it's edging more towards 3.5 stars. Yet another 3-star read for this week. Basically, my issue with it is that, like, it's good Christmas smut with all of the daddy kink you could ever want, you know, so I will recommend it for that. However, I just wished that the author would have developed the 2 main characters just a little bit more before the steen happened, so that I could actually give a shit about these characters. Did that make sense? I need a little bit more development and a little bit more backstory, even for really smutty novellas like this. So it's good though, it's fine. If you're in the mood for something like this, I think that you'd enjoy it. And so then today I jumped into Duke Actually by Jenny Holiday. Like I said, this is the follow-up to A Princess for Christmas. So I was really excited for this one because I loved this one so much. First thing I will say about this book is that I feel like you kind of have to read this book first before going into this one. Even though they are technically companion novels, I just feel like you're not gonna care as much about this couple if you don't get the context from this book. That's just my opinion. You may feel differently if you've read these books, but yeah, I am on page 231. First of all, I have to point out the adorable like chapter headers, so freaking cute. But yeah, I'm just about like 64% of the way through. And so this is just so delightful. I need to read more from Jenny Holiday in the new year. Oh my God, like I'm obsessed with like the charm and the wit that her stories and her writing have, and like I just love the vibes I get from her. Like I love it. So this is a friends to lovers situation. We are centering around Max, or Maximilian. He is the heir to a dukedom, which is why it's called Duke Actually. He is best friends with Marie, who was the heroine from book 1, and then Danny is best friends with Leo, who was the hero from book 1. So yeah, I love how this friendship starts though, because when they first met, around the time that Marie and Leo from the first book got engaged, Danny like hated Max. Max is definitely, how do I describe Max? He's kind of like a hoe, for lack of a better term. He's a rake, seemingly a womanizer, and he's very flirtatious, and Danny is the opposite of that. I would almost say that this gives Grump Sunshine vibes, with Max being sunshiny and Danny being a bit grumpy. So yeah, Danny is like already over Max's bullshit. Basically, he comes to visit New York, which is where she and Leo are from. And so he like worms his way into her life. It's a little bit of a fake dating situation because Danny is in the process of divorcing her husband, Vince. He is a cheater, he is trash, but they work at the same college. I think they might even work in the same department at the same college. And so Danny has to go to a work Christmas party, and so she just happens to be texting Max, and so she asks Max to go with her as her date. And so it's a little bit of fake dating in that way. So I'm just really enjoying how the fake dating aspect evolved into a very real friendship. There's some adorable scenes when they're in New York together. They go to the Nutcracker with Danny's mom, and they make snow angels. Like, it's just really cute. And there was a bit of that in Princess for Christmas as well that I just like absolutely adored. Like, Christmas in New York, I just love the vibes. Like I said, I'm about 64% of the way through, and as much as I'm enjoying this slow burn friends to lovers relationship between the two of them, they have not kissed yet, and it's past the 60% mark. Jenny Holiday, you are killing me. Yeah, I just keep internally screaming in my head, just kiss already. They have so much sexual tension and chemistry, and like, I just need them to get together already. Ugh. It's so good. She also has this cute little Yorkie also named Max, which is really funny, Max and Max. So yeah, I'm having a really good time. I also love the references made to the movies Dirty Dancing and Love Actually. That's also been really fun to see throughout. It's just a good time. So yeah, I'm having a really good time, just like I was with the first book of this little series. And I hope that Jenny Holiday is going to write more books in this Christmas romance series, because I'm just obsessed with these two books. And yeah, I'll definitely let you guys know what I think of this once I finish it. I'll definitely finish it tonight because I have like a little over 100 pages or so left, so I'll definitely fly through this. And then I was also doing some cleaning around the house while listening to this audiobook. Here's the thing about being an adult and having your own place, is that you are constantly cleaning things. And it's getting on my nerves, frankly. But I have been specifically cleaning today, just like a little bit in like the front room and in the dining room and stuff, because some of my family members are coming over here tomorrow to celebrate Christmas, basically. So with all that being said, that is going to be it for this update. I am so hungry. I need to go eat dinner. How is it already almost 7 o'clock? Where did the day go? That's what happens when you spend the afternoon cleaning and listening to an audiobook. Time just flies by. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat some food, maybe watch some of a Christmas movie, finish this really adorable book, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. First things first, you might notice the lighting is different. Both the lamp that is lighting my face and this lamp back here, I replaced with all new smart bulbs that my sister got me for Christmas. So as you can see back here, this bulb can like fade to different colors, and that's really cool. And then I just adjusted the bulb on this lamp so that it was a bit cooler toned. I think that lighting looks a little bit better in here. I don't know, it's fine. And of course we've got the tree back there. So I'm just having fun playing with these smart bulbs because they can do so much. And I can change them to like literally any color of the rainbow. Whereas the other smart bulb I had, I was a bit more limited. So yeah, that's just fun. And I wanted to show you guys some Christmas presents that I got. I'm not gonna show you everything because I don't want this reading update to be too long, but I'll just show you the couple of things. First things first, I got a book. This is, let's see, Her Heart for a Compass by Sarah Ferguson, who is the Duchess of York. So I had never heard about this book. I think it came out this year, if I am not mistaken. It did. Yes, it came out in 2021. My mom is like obsessed with the British royal family. And so she heard about this book, and apparently it's a historical romance. A historical romance written by somebody who is in the British royal family. That sounds really intriguing. So it says, from one of the most famous former members of the British royal family. So she's former, she's not currently a part of the royal family. Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, comes a mesmerizing novel of a young noblewoman's coming of age that richly details both high society and low in Victorian England. Okay, so this is historical fiction. I mean, there might be a romance in it, but when you tell me it's somebody's coming of age, that tells me it's more just a fiction novel. So this sounds really interesting, and the reason why the cover is so shiny is because this is actually like a library's version that my mom got off of thrift books. So I mean, I'm interested, I'm intrigued to check it out. The adult historical fiction genre is a genre that I would kind of like to get more into, so who knows, I might really love this, I don't know. And then my brother and sister-in-law got me this bag of Seattle chocolates because they now live in Seattle, and there's like so many different flavors, and I'm just so excited to have that, so I wanted to show that. And then the last gift that I wanted to show for part of this update is in this adorable Santa box. This is from my sister. She got me this incredible Christmas sweater. Oh my goodness, just you wait until you get a good look at this. Isn't that incredible? It says, OMG Santa, I know him. If you don't know, Elf is probably my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Yeah, it's probably my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And I don't actually own a Christmas sweater like this, like an ugly Christmas sweater, although I think that this is really freaking cute. So I'm just so excited to have that. I love Elf so much. So reading update, I did finish 2 things last night. I haven't done any reading today, which is understandable because today's Christmas. I spent the entire day with family. We kind of did 2 Christmases. My mom and I went to my aunt's house. We had Christmas dinner. It was really lunch, it was lunchtime. And then my mom and I came back here where I live, and my sister, my brother-in-law, and my dad came over here, and it was like Christmas dinner 2.0, but I was already full, so I didn't eat anything else except some dessert. And so yeah, we like opened presents and stuff. It was a good time. But reading update. So last night I did finish Duke Actually by Jenny Holiday. I really enjoyed this. It was so good. I gave it 4.5 stars, just like A Princess for Christmas, which, like I said, is the predecessor to this. My only gripe with this book is that they didn't even kiss until the 80% mark. Oh my goodness, I feel like only Mariana Zapata can get away with that much of a slow burn. I was just a little bit frustrated, but I will say Jenny Holiday did really make up for that, because by the 80% mark, they kissed and steamy things started happening, and her steamy scenes are good. Chef's kiss. Highly recommend. There was a scene that literally made my jaw drop, and I will just say that. But this was so good. Oh, this is such a great friends to lovers romance. And there is going to be a 3rd book in this series. It's going to center around Mr. Benz, who is like Princess Marie's assistant, essentially. So I'm excited about that. This was just so, so good. I'm so glad that I read a really good book this week, because I feel like this reading week has just been very meh. I've been reading a lot of 3-star reads, and so yes, 4.5 stars, highly, highly recommended. I'm not sure, I do think I enjoyed A Princess for Christmas a bit more than this one, but they're both 4.5 stars in my mind. Then late last night, I decided to read The Naughty List by Ellie Mae McGregor. This is a very short novella. It's just about like 45 pages. This has been on my radar for a while. I actually read Ellie Mae McGregor's more recent release, which was The Witch's Wolves. That's more of a paranormal autumn vibe romance, whereas this one, as you can probably tell from the cover, it's a romance with Santa. Specifically, his name is Nikolai. He took over the job of Santa from his father, essentially. And so, yeah, it's an erotic romance with Santa, and our heroine, I can't remember her name, but she's in her early 40s. She's a single mom. We love romances with older main characters. And in this story, Santa's not necessarily an old man. I think he's also like in his 30s or 40s, something like that. So it's just a good time. Made me smile. It was cute, but also sexy. And yeah, I recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. So for tonight, my plan is actually to finish A Moment in Time by Bertrand Small. I didn't read any of it yesterday because I really just wanted to focus on Duke Actually. But I have like 5 hours left of this audiobook, and so I just kind of want to truck through the rest of it and kind of get it over with. Like, I have a feeling I'm gonna give this book 1 star when I'm done with it, but at the same time, it's not the kind of book that I would DNF because I'm not bored. And I'm like, I don't know, like the pacing is all right. So, and it's also one of those books where like, I just kind of want to see what happens next, because this book is just bonkers. Like, it's absolutely nuts. So like, I kind of can't stop reading it, even though I kind of despise this book. So yeah, with all that being said, I hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, of course, or just a safe and happy holiday season. All right, happy Sunday, everybody. Today is going to be the last update for Vlogmas week 4. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this vlog. So after I updated you guys last night, I did finish A Moment in Time by Bertrand Small, and I gave it 1 star. Maybe 1.5 stars, because I actually kind of liked the ending. And by the ending, I mean specifically the epilogue, not necessarily the ending as a whole. And I know that doesn't make sense, but I don't want to spoil this book, even though it's terrible and I don't recommend that any of you read it. But if any of you decide to read this for the Historical Hellions book club, I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, oh my God. It's so weird because I feel like I should have wanted to DNF this, but this book is just so bonkers and crazy that like I wanted to know how this was gonna end. How was this author going to wrap everything up? And from where I started yesterday, I was at like the 73% mark, and things just kept going more and more downhill the more that I read, with the exception of the epilogue, like I said. So this book sucks. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. I'm sure that we are all going to have a lot of thoughts for this live show once again that's happening on January 2nd. Yeah, this was just terrible. I mean, I can tell you right now, this is the worst book that I've read this year. Like, big oof. But then after that, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I was not in a good mental place, not because of the book. It had nothing to do with the book. There's just, I don't know, been other things going on in my life that I was just not in a great place mentally, so I decided to rewatch A Castle for Christmas. This is a Netflix movie that came out like a month or so ago, and I've already watched it once, but this movie just really worked for me. I feel like a lot of people didn't really like this movie, but I personally loved it. And so I rewatched it and it worked. It made me happy. So, you know, sometimes you just need to rewatch comfort movies, and for me this has become a comfort movie. And yeah, so it was a good time. So I didn't read anything else last night. Also, I feel like I needed to decompress after finishing A Moment in Time. So I feel like my brain just needed to like reset. Like I just couldn't imagine starting another book last night. So yeah, the movie was definitely the way to go. And then today, I haven't gotten all that much reading done. I had a work meeting today, which kind of sucks, honestly, because having to do anything the day after Christmas, like that just sucks. I was finally able to read a good chunk of the book that I'm currently reading, which is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the dust jacket, but the dust jacket is not what is beautiful about the design of this book, although it's a great cover and everything. However, the hardback itself, are you kidding me? Stunning. One of the most beautiful like naked hardbacks ever. So I'm just gonna hold this up because it's everything. But this is book 1 in the King of Scars duology. If you don't know all that much about this whole like Grisha universe that Leigh Bardugo has written, a lot of you will know the Netflix adaptation, The Shadow and Bone Show, which is very, 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 very different from the books. But there's the original Grisha trilogy, which I read that back in like early 2019. Then there's the Six of Crows duology. I read that in like April 2020. And then there is this spin-off, this duology that centers around Nikolai Lantsov, who is the king of Ravka. So I am on page 105. I think that's just about 20% into the book. Basically, this duology is going to center around Nikolai. Like I said, he's the king of Ravka, and Ravka has recently gone through this terrible civil war, as we saw in the original Grisha trilogy. And so he's just trying to get Ravka back to a good place. His father, the former king, kind of ran the country into the ground financially for sure. And so Nikolai's desperately trying to get the finances in order. But there's also like trade things going on, lots of political things for sure. And I will say the first like 50 pages or so of this, I was like, fine. I don't know. I was just kind of like trucking along. I have been listening to the audiobook, which is unfortunately only from Audible, as like all of Leigh Bardugo's books are. But I don't know, like the plot hadn't really kicked in yet. So I was just like, what are we doing? What's going on? I will say I love that the 3 major characters we're following are Nikolai, of course, Zoya, who was heavily featured in the Grisha trilogy. She is his general. She's kind of like his second in command. That's how her character is reading to me right now. And then Nina from the Six of Crows duology. I love her so much. Definitely probably my favorite character in the Grisha universe. Of course, reading her chapters though is devastating because of what happened at the end of Crooked Kingdom. But I do really enjoy these 3 major characters that we're following. And I will say in the last like 10 pages or so that I read, the plot is kicking in and it's very interesting. I am here for it. There's definitely inklings of a romance between Zoya and Nikolai, which I am so here for. Like on the one hand, they are 2 very different people, and on the other hand, they are more similar than you would think. And I'm also loving it because Zoya is actively trying to find a wife for Nikolai, somebody other than her, of course, trying to find like a proper bride for him so that he can have a queen and have an heir and all of those things that a king should have. But we all know that Zoya and Nikolai are the ones that should be together. Like, I love that vibe. I love it. It's definitely been a while since I've read YA fantasy. I read one back in September, and then before that, I really have only read like a few this year, and that is a genre that I really enjoy. So I am happy to be diving back into YA fantasy with this duology. And this is also the very last book that I have to read for my 21 books that I need to read in 2021 video. I will link that up in the cards if you are curious. This is the last book that I have to read for that. So I'm so excited that I'm gonna meet my goal of reading all of those books. And I'm also looking forward to reading the second book in this duology. That came out, I think, in March of this year, if I'm not mistaken. So it's still a pretty recent release, but I'll definitely read that one soon as well. I actually just ordered myself a physical copy of it because I got an Amazon gift card for Christmas. So yeah, I used it for that. And I think that's going to be it for Vlogmas week 4. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I have really been enjoying doing these Vlogmas vlogs for you guys, and you all seem to really be enjoying these vlogs as well. So there will be one more vlog for Vlogmas, which is going to be this coming week. So December 27th through like January 1st, I believe is the entirety of the week, something like that. So yeah, be on the lookout for that vlog. So I would love it if you would leave a comment down below if you want to discuss any of the books that I brought up in this video. And I would also love it if you would leave a like and subscribe. And I thank you so much in advance if you do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.